Prepare for a profound journey into the legacy of one of the 20th century's greatest thinkers, Viktor Frankl, a man who traversed the darkest abysses of human existence, emerged not with despair, but with a wisdom capable of transforming lives. What allowed him to find meaning and inner peace in a chaotic world? And are his keys to inner peace still valid today? The young visionary and the Viennese dream. Vienna, early 20th century. A vibrant city, the birthplace of psychoanalysis and unparalleled cultural effervescence. It was in this setting that a young prodigy emerged, Viktor Frankl. From an early age, his brilliant mind was restless with the great questions of existence. While Freud and Adler unraveled the mysteries of the unconscious and the pursuit of power, Frankl forged his own path, convinced that human beings were driven, above all, by the search for meaning. He was a diligent student, a passionate debater, and his ideas, though innovative, weren't always well received by the established giants of psychoanalysis. Imagine the hallways of the University of Vienna, where young intellectuals like Frankl dared to question dogmas. He advocated logotherapy, an approach that focused on the spiritual dimension and life's purpose, a vision that for many was too audacious. His life in Vienna was full: marriage, friends, long walks through the imperial streets where Gothic and Baroque architecture mingled with daily life. He was building a promising career, a home, and nurturing the dream of seeing his ideas transform psychology. Little did he know that the tranquility of this Vienna was about to be swallowed by a shadow that would forever change not only his life, but the course of history. The shadow falls, the arrival of tragedy. The air in Vienna began to grow heavy. Whispers of an imminent war turned into shouts, and with the rise of Nazism, Viktor Frankl's life, like so many others, crumbled. His career, his rights, his security, everything was brutally curtailed. He was a recognized doctor, a respected professor, but suddenly he was just a Jew. The persecution intensified. Racial laws tightened the noose. Frankl had the chance to flee. A visa offer for the United States was in his hands, an escape, a hope for a new beginning. But a heart-wrenching dilemma confronted him: his elderly parents. How could he leave them behind, knowing what was to come? In an act of profound loyalty and love, Frankl tore up the visa. He chose to stay. This decision, unthinkable to many, sealed his fate and that of his family. The Nazi terror advanced relentlessly, and the Vienna he loved, now plunged into fear, became a trap. The deportation to the Theresienstadt concentration camp was the first step towards an unimaginable abyss where human dignity would be tested to its very limit. The inferno and the discovery of meaning. From Theresienstadt, Frankl's journey continued to the epicenter of horror, Auschwitz. It's hard to even conceive the dimension of suffering there. The loss was total. His wife, his parents, his brother, all swallowed by the Nazi extermination machine. His manuscripts, the work of a lifetime, incinerated. Everything he knew, loved, and built was reduced to ashes. How do you find meaning amidst barbarity? How do you survive when hope seems a cruel illusion? Frankl, however, transformed Auschwitz into his greatest laboratory. He observed, analyzed, seeking to understand what differentiated those who succumbed from those who somehow managed to maintain a spark of humanity. It was there, in the depths of hell, that his theory about the meaning of life was brutally tested and, paradoxically, confirmed. He realized that those who could glimpse a purpose, a love waiting, an unfinished work, a mission to fulfill, were those who resisted. Frankl, a man who had lost everything, discovered that the last of human rights is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. The pain didn't destroy him, it transformed him, forging an unshakable inner strength.
The rebirth and Vienna's legacy. With liberation came the return to a war-torn Vienna. The city, a landscape of physical and emotional ruins, mirrored Frankl's profound grief. He was free, but his losses were immeasurable. Overcoming the mourning was an arduous process, but his mission was clear: to share the wisdom that life itself had imposed on him. In just 9 days, he wrote his masterpiece, Man's Search for Meaning, one of America's 10 most influential works according to the Library of Congress. The book, a poignant testimony of his experience and logotherapy, quickly resonated worldwide. Post-war Vienna, still healing its wounds, witnessed the resurgence of one of its most resilient sons. Frankl rebuilt his academic life, his clinic. Patients and students from all over the world came to Vienna to hear his lectures, seek advice, and learn about finding meaning in pain. He transformed personal tragedy into a universal message of hope and resilience, proving that life, even in its darkest moments, never ceases to have meaning. The global thinker and fatherhood. From the 1960s onward, Viktor Frankl's influence exploded globally. His logotherapy ceased to be just a theory and became a beacon for millions. He traveled tirelessly, lecturing at renowned universities, inspiring audiences with his calm voice and profound insights. New York, Tokyo, Buenos Aires. He was a citizen of the world, carrying his message of meaning and purpose. His personal life also flourished. His marriage to Eleonore Schwindt, a pillar of support, and the joy of fatherhood brought him the peace and fulfillment that the war had stolen. Frankl, the Auschwitz survivor, the renowned psychiatrist, was also a loving father, a dedicated husband. His legacy transcended psychology. He influenced theologians, philosophers, educators, and ordinary people. His message that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, resonates to this day. Viktor Frankl left us not just a philosophy, but a life manual for finding inner peace in an ever-changing world. Viktor Frankl's life teaches us that even in the most terrible circumstances, the search for meaning can be our greatest compass. His 5 keys to inner peace are not just concepts, they are testaments to a life lived with purpose. We'd like to know which of these keys resonated most with you. Leave your comment and contribute to this important discussion. If you were inspired by this story, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos. And also watch our special recommendation appearing on the screen now.